chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You can hear with some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Well, what do you know? Good evening, Cayman. This is another Sabrina Speaks. Welcome, 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 everybody. Yes, we are Voices of the Islands, conversation for the world, and the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration takes center stage. It is so good to be back with you today. After Melissa, a nation tested, a region united. As we gather here this evening, the Cayman Islands finds itself in a rare and humbling position. We were spared. As you know, Hurricane Melissa, now a powerful Category 4 storm, has battered parts of our region with devastating force. Jamaica is reeling. The storm made landfall earlier on today with sustained winds of over 180 miles per hour. And the images and reports are coming in, and what I'm seeing thus far is heart-wrenching, to say the least. But here at home, we still remain under a small craft warning, which I'll go in more details momentarily, and with scattered showers and gusty winds, especially affecting our sister islands intermittently. Now, it's a reminder that even when the eye doesn't pass over us or even near us, the ripple effects still reaches our shores. So tonight, I welcome you. We reflect on what's in store in regards to our respond. And we rise. The phone lines are open, 345-936-8255. WhatsApp is also open. And of course, you're free to constantly message me on your favorite channel that we are streaming from, be it YouTube or Facebook, because I want to hear from you. And how are you processing this at this very moment? I know many of you have been cut off from your loved ones. Pretty much communication has been down with the few images that are coming through the media sources. But I wonder, what does it mean to be spared while others suffer? And how do we show up, not just as Caymanians, but as Caribbean people? Now, the content you're about to hear, including any discussions or opinions from myself, guests, and or participants, is intended solely for the general, informational, and entertainment purposes. It's not a substitute for professional, legal, medical, or financial advice. So I encourage you to consult with a qualified professional for specific concerns. Now, Sabrina Speaks disclaims all liability for any decisions or actions taken in reliance on the information presented here. Again, it is a pleasure to be with you. If you're loving the information that we're sharing here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a family, log on. It's time for another Sabrina Speaks. Before we go into the discussion, and again, the phone lines are open. There's a reason why I'm telling you that, because we need to hear from you. We always want to hear from you. But, you know, I got to keep it real with what's happening right here on our grounds. And I'm going to remove that banner for now. There we go. As of 4:30, here's an update from on Hurricane Melissa, issued by our very own Cayman Islands National Weather Service. And the National Hurricane Center continues to issue advisory on now Category 4 Hurricane Melissa, which is moving north-northeast 8 miles an hour with maximum sustained winds of 145 miles an hour. Now, Melissa is at its closest point to the Cayman Islands and is expected to continue to move north towards Cuba overnight. Given the system's current location and projected motion, this will be the final update from the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. Now, regular forecasts and advisories will continue through normal channels. A marine warning remains in effect for the Cayman Islands, and mariners, particularly in the sister islands, should remain in safe harbor. And all water and beach activities should be avoided, especially along exposed coastal areas. Now, residents are also reminded to be vigilant and follow official updates at www.weather.gov.ky. That's www.weather.gov.ky. And then, it said that is the last official report on this from the Cayman Islands National Weather Service, but we will continue to give updates from our national weather station, which I will definitely give you tonight's forecast as well. Here we go. And we are expected to have occasionally gusty showers are expected to linger through the next few hours as outer bands associated with Hurricane Melissa linger close by before decreasing on Wednesday. Now, fresh north to northwest winds and moderate seas will, with some possible swells actively along northern and western coasts, are likely, though late Thursday, as Melissa exits from the Caribbean and drifts into the Atlantic Ocean. Now, a cold front is expected to push into the Northwest Caribbean late Thursday and become stationary just east of the Cayman Islands area on Friday. Mariners are advised to remain in safe harbor as a marine warning, as I said that before, remains in effect across the Cayman Islands tonight. Now, this will be downgraded to a marine watch tomorrow morning and eventually a small craft advisory by the evening. For further details, more information, and on the extended weather forecast, please visit their website. That's www.weather.gov.ky. And again, you will actually get some more information on that. And there you go. So that still remains in effect. Remember, I shared some colors with you. When it's black, it means don't even thinking about it, because you know what? The main reason why there's a marine warning, you know why that has been issued? Because the wave heights are right now 10 to 13 feet are expected for the Cayman Islands, and venturing out over open water should not take place. And this is why mariners, especially over the sister islands, are advised to secure their vessels and remain in a safe harbor. In water activities, again, over the sister islands are not recommended. I can't repeat that enough. Water activities, especially in the sister islands, are not recommended. And in Grand Cayman, limit or avoid beach activities as well, especially along exposed coastal areas. So be informed and stay informed. If you don't believe me, log on to www.weather.gov.ky and also on caymanprepared.ky to get this information for yourself. So there you have it. That's the latest on what we got there for you. And, it's one thing to bring you this type of information, but it's also keeping it real with what's happening around us. And I mean, today it's been a long, I would say, week and a half, 2 weeks. It's been like, Melissa, to the point that I was calling her Marsha, was it? Or some other name. But oh my God, my my heart goes out to the people of Jamaica. Our thoughts and prayers for everyone that is over there. And for those people in Black River. And right now, what's happening in the Montego Bay area, it's just, oof. The real work comes in right now afterwards, cleanup, because we understand the terrain. Michelle, yeah, that's it, Connie. Oh, I know you remember. I'm just like so over her, like you would not believe. But it's just, you know what? It's real. It's real. It's heart wrenching, because when you see some of the images that are coming out of there right now, some of the places that they're even deemed as shelters are just done. Some of the schools, I got a picture here. Was it a school I got? Yeah, this is one of the schools. That's an image of one of the schools. Let me get it, because I was getting images all day today. And for those persons who are really worried and want to hear about from their families, some of the systems for their information, their infrastructure has been compromised, meaning they're down pole lines. Of course, that's going to impact data. That's going to impact how you even reach people by telephone. And this is a picture that was shared with me of St. Elizabeth's High School. And I know I saw a video there from the shelter manager and a young man who is a student at the school who was so happy to be a volunteer here. And that would have been deemed as one of the safe shelters in St. Elizabeth. Now we understand where this weather, where the eye came over, was in the parish of St. Elizabeth. So look at the compromised roof in that. And of course, there's an image of a hospital as well that I have here. This is huge, guys. It's like you set a bomb. Now, all of those persons who were saying, why are you fooling us? This is not coming. We were jibbed out of going to supermarkets and buying stuff, This is one particular system that I must say it has caught the attention of the entire world. And why, you may ask, it's because of its sheer intensity. It has actually have scientists and people in the media world, the weather industry, just literally scratching their heads. We've seen, and I did a post on the Sabrina Turner's community activist Facebook page yesterday evening about the NOAA, the weather, the aircraft that went up to try and get into the center of this hurricane and had to abort. Guess what? That happened again today. Yeah, that happened again today. They actually tried to get into this, and it says, this was posted about 45 minutes ago. The U.S. Air Force Reserve's 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron, known as Hurricane Hunters, encountered heavier than normal turbulence while flying into the eye of Hurricane Melissa on Tuesday morning, and were forced to turn back. So this is the second time. And yesterday when that happened, right, that was only like the fifth time ever in the history of these planes flying into these type of hurricanes. And here we have it again, as this the post says. A similar situation arose on Monday when the Hurricane Hunters flight left the storm early after experiencing severe turbulence on Monday as well. So there's also information that while they were in there yesterday after their second or third attempt, they actually caught, I'm trying to find the images where they actually caught a flock of birds that got stuck in the eye of this hurricane. That was yesterday. And a number of media sources were actually sharing that. So yeah. So this is the second day. It's historic, not only in the millibars, the pressure, the strength. It's historic because, again, even with those who are out there giving us real information, like people flying into the eye of this, their lives have been threatened, and this aircraft, with the damage, and they're built to go through this stuff. Thanks to ABC News, we captured this from their website, from their post, and it's just amazing what's coming out. I know as the days go by, right now, what I'm seeing out of Kingston, the eastern side of Jamaica, they are right now feeling what is the part of the tail end of it. So they're getting the brunt of the weather, the rains, a lot of gusts as well, even though the eye was on the western side of Jamaica. They're now feeling a lot of the rain, which is interesting because remember they were getting light showers all yesterday. Some people were doubting that if it was even coming, or that this was somewhat of a hoax. But now what they're going to encounter for the next couple of hours, possibly into tomorrow, is torrential downpour of rains. And guess what? With the high elevation of the mountains in Jamaica, that rain water that is falling has to come down. And that is where I'm concerned that the lingering effects of Melissa, that'll be way gone afterwards, they're going to be feeling not only infrastructure, what people known before this hurricane made its presence, and going back, they're going to almost be looking for some normalcy. And not to be gloom, but just be facts. Similar to what we experienced here in Hurricane Ivan and those who in the Sister Islands went through Paloma. What you may have known, Black River, certain parts of St. Elizabeth, certain parts of the North Coast, Montego Bay and that sort of stuff, Trelawney, that's a memory now, because when the dust settles, so to speak, and the all clear is given and the actual assessments, it's going to be shocking. And for those of us who experienced Ivan, we know for a fact that there's still some footprints of Ivan here in the Cayman Islands. And this OMG is just off the charts. So, let's see how you're commenting here, Connie. I hope that you are staying, or at least have gotten some contact with your family over there. Good evening to you. Hi, Sonia. Good evening. Welcome, welcome. Barbara G, it's always a pleasure to have you here. I went straight into that because it was that important. I mean, all day I've been trying to get information. I've been on various sites. I know that we've been sharing information. There was another press briefing earlier on this morning that Sandra shared. And the words coming out of the Jamaican officials is, who can really and truly prepare for a Cat 5 of this magnitude? It's almost like she wanted to be a Cat 6, literally, because even with the rains and the colors that the meteorologists use to show the amount of rain, a new color was born. That's how much more rainfall. This is like a neon green or orange just popped up on their models. That's just telling you exactly how much rain this particular system brought with it. So will that really change? Will this hurricane system really change forecasting a bit? Will there be another category? We don't know. Only time will tell, eh? But Damien, how are you? It's good to have you here. O'Neill, good evening to you as well. You're more than welcome, Miss Marjorie. I am keeping it real here with you and giving you the information as I get it. And again, I welcome you. Should you have pictures from your family or loved ones in Jamaica, share them, send them to me, WhatsApp 936-8255. And I'll be more than happy to share them here if it is a way of calming, it's a way of healing, it's a way of, I know Miss Donette has been here with me and she's just freaking out because her family is in Montego Bay. And, it's one thing when she can't hear, she just wants to hear from them. And that has been very hard for her. And I can only put myself in that position, having immediate family, not hearing anything, but you're seeing images that really sometimes you got to wonder if they're not enhanced AI. But you know what is AI if you know what you're looking for versus what's real. And this is why we have to use only information from trusted sources, because people try to get the traffic on their social media pages and they will post stuff from either other countries and say this is from this part of Jamaica, whatever. But a lot of the content that we have been sharing has been actually from trusted sources. And this is why some of the images that you will actually get will have brandings of US media sources that have teams on the ground, ABC, CBS, and there's the infamous Fox gentleman that's also on the ground. That everyone is like they're just angry at this guy for whatever reason. I don't know. But if you're listening to some of this stuff coming across on TikTok, they're like, oh my God, whenever they hear this weather guy from Fox, come on, it's like their heart skips a beat. It's like they have high blood pressure. But yeah, so you will notice a lot of the branding that we'll have. It'll either be from Brian, ABC, Fox have been sharing a lot of information because they are trusted people. I just don't grab information, especially on the Facebook and Instagram pages that I've been sharing, and the weather updates as well. You will notice I share a lot of stuff from the Cayman Islands National Weather Service and Hazard Management. But with that latest update from the Cayman Islands National Weather Service, we will not be seeing any more of local information and weather updates on this particular system, because by the time this show is ended, the eye, which even though it was going over Jamaica, is closed now because it has nothing to feed off. It's over land. So you will see what was a defined eye. They call it a stadium effect when it was over water, that you could actually look right up and see the blue sky and like the sun was shining and that sort of stuff. That closed when it went over land, but it doesn't mean that that isn't still the center of a circulation. Once that gets over water and before it hits Cuba later on tonight, they're expecting that eye to be more defined again, because the fuel source, the water, the ocean being as warm as it is, that will fuel it. And they expect it to possibly still be a very strong hurricane when it hits Cuba and then on to the Bahamas. And oh my gosh, our brothers and sisters over there in Bermuda is bracing for this as well. You know, Bermuda is a British overseas territory. They're ours, just like us here in the Cayman Islands. Their whole economy is structured just like us here in the Cayman Islands, and this is headed for them unless there is some wobbling. What we have actually learned in the past, I would say 2 weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks, more so in the most recent days, is that people are more interested in weather. People are more speaking weather. And I'm hoping that there are a lot of lessons learned from this, even in the way we're seeing some of the roofs and stuff just being lifted up. We're seeing personal preparations from persons over there. And it kind of makes you thank our building codes here in the Cayman Islands, as annoying as it may be where hurricane straps are concerned in certain phases. I know that the infrastructure is improving over there for new buildings of houses, but you know, it kind of makes you say thank God that ours are as rigid as they are. When we see what now, just on the intensity of this particular hurricane, they're linking it to global warming and climate change. So it's quite interesting how we're hearing more of that lingo. People are more becoming more aware of their environment. I've even heard discussions from members of government talking that the begging, literally the people of Jamaica, that their culture has to change with how they deal with garbage. So it's amazing the type of conversations that is now coming out, even though we're dealing with the aftermath of this public health broad infrastructure, broad repairs, public health as in mosquito-borne disease, stagnated water. I can expect the Minister of Health is going to be just going crazy, but it's going to be interesting the next couple of days, especially. And I got some more information because they have found unscrupulous persons already trying to capitalize on donations that is not legit. So I'll share that after this call with what information I've gotten or I've received from the Jamaican press release this morning, from the government's press release. Good afternoon, caller, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks.
Good afternoon, babe. They say that eye was a perfect eye.
Mm-hmm.
What I think, the eye that's hurricane was a perfect eye.
Yeah.
That's what I heard one forecaster saying. But thank God, I hear from 3 my friends, but we can't hear nothing from the one in Trelawney. Because I talked to my friend that is the nurse. When I talked to her about 3 o'clock, she said she was going home from the hospital then. And she said, because she lives in Kingston. And then one lives in Portmore. Well, the one in Portmore, we get on to her, but she said they move. And then, well, one in St. Mary. I talked to them about 6 times, but they say another 2 pieces of zinc gone off their house in pure water. It flood.
Oh, wow.
But they had lose from the other day. They lose 2 off of their kitchen. And then they lose another 2 pieces. And they say, I said, well, your stove, and they say, up now, wet up. I said, well, you need to cover up the stove in your fridge. They said, well, they had it covered up with tarpaulin, and they don't know if it's gonna work after this. But anyway, so far they live. I say thank God, because that was a monster. But then I saw on the Jamaica Gleaner watching, and I see where a disaster coordinator from Westmoreland suffered a stroke. I said, oh my God, poor. And then they say that they got her, she being treated in the hospital. I said, well, my God, I hope she be okay. And I saw that on, that was the Jamaica Glean. I saw that on, so I guess it put a good information.
Yeah.
I don't believe nothing I say on TikTok and Facebook, because that kind of, you know, the Dunga song about well, I call her Michelle too, not only you. I kept calling her Michelle, me and you, remember I tell you? Because I kept saying, but I should remember Melissa, because my nephew wife named Melissa. So I don't know what, but then I have a cousin named Michelle. So I don't know.
I calling her all kind of things at one point.
I don't know why I'm mixing them up. my cousin that named Michelle live in one of them.
Yeah.
Condos behind her, there's them big one down the back there. That's where Michelle live.
But
And Melissa Honduras. But anyway.
Yeah, it was just shocking though, because I heard where the member of Parliament Mackenzie said that they were receiving calls up to when that press briefing was live. People in St. Elizabeth was actually calling the Jamaican Defence Force, the JDF, they've been receiving calls for transportation. And I mean, they have been trying to do this for almost 4 days straight. We watched it.
I know.
In the height of it, you know, like, oh my God, they were receiving calls for people wanting to be saved for transportation.
I know. The man told him, he tell him, kind of asked him, and he tell him, well, no, he would say he wouldn't, he tell him that he wouldn't venture after 11, because they were going to 10 then. And he said, but I tell you, they said that one of the St. Mary, my friends at one of the St. Mary rescue places now had nobody kind of announcing, but I tell you, people don't listen. They were out there partying and dancing. I see them, I hear this one, but we want some John Crow battered as that Jerry nephew overproof from, and they were dancing and doing all kind of stupidness. Some people don't take these things serious, but they would get a junk, they would get a I don't know what kind of batter that. But that I even see where they say some hotel, her the pool had gone, and they said that the sea were coming in. We seen these 2 big old sharks. I said, look, and then one man said first, he said the river used to come to the because I went out talking to my friend. He said, yeah, mom, he said this from St. Mary. He said bad. He said, cause first the river used to go to the sea, but now the sea coming to the river. I said, well, I better keep it on a staying and don't come out, because the breeze flying and stuff, and you can get killed. I said, when you can get a piece of zinc back or whatever, I know it might be hard, but I'm not gonna get belief, but you can't get life back. Cause once you're dead, you're dead. So try staying. I said, from how bunker up in one little corner. What happened? That's how my uncle died in Mitch. Because they said about went leave him, and he was old, and all of his the thought went, and Star was telling me, she said, Shelma, I feel sorry for your poor old uncle. He was hollering for one of his children, and he was, when they find him, he was caught up in one little corner. He was my last uncle that died by my grandmother's side, and he catch pneumonia, and he died. When they take him out, he was so cold, they couldn't get him warm up. They say he was trembling like I didn't know what. So they start, and this is a monster. I don't know. I never hear nothing bad as this one yet. But anyway, thank God. No, I'm looking at my 2 little bears with my best friend, the one that is, because she said that when she was going, she said, Shelly, because she called me, she was, she get off earlier. But she said, no, but on the road, because they had curfew actually down there, you know. She said, but she said she was exempt to be on the road. She wouldn't get in trouble with police because she's a nurse. But she was going home then. And she said that she was going, because she lives in Kingston, she said that wasn't nothing on the road, but it was raining, and they had plenty of. And I just remember, I forget, well, I got one friend on her name, I forget, Grandma Erica, and I even call and check on her. I got to look for a number and say she got in the service.
I
forget about her.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But only the one in Trelawney, we can't hear nothing. I hope she okay.
Yeah.
Oh
well,
my God.
Keep trying and keep us up to date. All right. I'm going to share some information getting here. All the best.
Yeah, okay.
Hope everything works well for your family, friends.
I hope so.
Yeah.
They're really good friends.
Right.
good friends to me. When you find a good friend, you gotta keep them.
That's
And
right.
that one, I got a little bear, and she give me it's two little hog bears, and it say "friend forever."
Mm-hmm. All right, my love.
We good
Talk
friends.
to you later.
Yeah, okay. All right.
All
Okay.
right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yes, there you have it. The picture that I have on the screen is actually an image taken from this. I'm going to share this aircraft. The one was that had to abort yesterday. I am just getting these images for you, so please bear with me. Yeah, I'm just going to share them with you. That image yesterday. Today, let's do this. There we go. That is what they call the stadium effect. And it was amazing that was taken from the aircraft that flies into these things and bring us these real images. That was the actual aircraft from yesterday. And they flew in, they had to abort. A similar aircraft like this had to abort earlier this morning. And yeah, they are actually designed to fly into this, but it just speaks of the sheer volume and the strength and the power of Mother Nature. And their fathers, husbands, wives that are flying these, sons, daughters, uncles, that are in these planes, and they put their lives at risk. And we thank them. We honestly have to thank them for their service, because outside of that, we're totally reliant on computer modeling and the best software. And now AI is taking over to help us be more concise, more accurate, and speed, because it does take them a while to get into the eye of this. And again, sometimes it's not successful. And so the second attempt today, or earlier on this morning, would have been the sixth time on record that they've had to abort, and because of the sheer turbulence that was impacted. And how would we be able to get these images if our brave men and women don't risk their lives to actually bring us this? But I would be interested to see the one with the birds that were actually trapped in this. And this was the eye. Something like this came on shore in St. Elizabeth, where you get the outer walls of that. So I heard Brian Shields saying that the distance between the stadium effect, the eye, was approximately 10 to 30 minutes. And this is what fool people who don't really understand these hurricanes. And when this made landfall in the southwest of St. Elizabeth at a Cat 5, it pretty much moved on shore looking like that, Yeah, in the Black River area. So I think there was an area called New Hope, like directly over there with the coordinates, New Hope. So it will be interesting in the coming days what NASA satellites may have picked up of this as it actually went over New Hope in St. Elizabeth at that Cat 5. And at that time, the pressure was 892 millibars and at sustained winds of 185 miles an hour. I was explaining that to Miss Donnett earlier on today, that when they say sustained winds in layman's terms, when you have an oscillating fan, those fans that you would sit on the bed and it goes like this and like this. Now, sustained is when you pull it up and it just blows direct. Can you imagine what that feels like, bearing down at 185 with gusts even stronger of 200 miles an hour on? This is why the plea from meteorologists was dire. They were like, I heard somebody used it that it's like Noah saying a flood is coming and nobody's listening, or they're saying there's so much fake news, there's so much information out there that actually have you doubting yourself, that people were like taking it. But then you hear the government now saying, while they were doing that live press briefing, they were receiving calls from people exactly in the parish where that hit, asking to be removed, when they had actually provide buses that were just sitting there empty. There was one gentleman who went along with the bus driver who says, and he said it in a reel, in a post for the news, he literally got down on his knees and begged the people to move. And they're more than likely sometimes volunteers who are doing this because they understand nature's wrath. They understand exactly what was about to descend on them. But hearing about all of this a week, 2 weeks before, I think people were beginning to doubt it. And now it's made its presence and it becomes real. And they're like, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, and it's too late. And yeah, let's see what Dominic is saying. Thank you, KY, Lord, for your blessings. What a show of your favor for our islands. Found it so hard to go to sleep until Melissa made that turn. Yeah, from Cayman. She's moving so slow that I went to sleep. A lot of people were actually holding her breath, Dominique, I could be honest with you, because for a while, as she continued to move west, that brought her closer here to us, but more especially to Kimmebrack and Little Cayman. And I know I had friends who woke up this morning who were saying, look, Sabrina, it all depends on what that weather thing was. If she hadn't turned or didn't make any inkling that she was going to turn, they were actually going to leave because they could see what was coming. So I know that we had persons who were very locked into this, depending on these weather forecasts. And if she had continued moving west before making that northwesterly turn, they would have actually been leaving themselves. Yeah. Miss Marjorie, yes, I know a lot of us. Miss Marjorie says, I have cried and cried and cried. Oh my God. A lot of us going into a lot of US going to Jamaica and they need manual help. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're going to need, I'm going to be having on the show, Cayman Islands is going to be part of the recovery efforts, and I'm going to be having guests as well on the show on Thursday. They have promised to come on, they've confirmed coming on this show to talk about relief efforts and where the Cayman Islands will play into that space. They're going to be here from 5:30 until about 7. So they're going to be here on the show. We're going to have representatives from the Red Cross, Hazard Management, maybe a couple of representatives even from the government as well. So that should be in line of exactly how the Cayman Islands will be doing our part. And we heard from the Cayman Islands Jamaican officials that there is an official website as well. It's called supportjamaica.gov.jm. Supportjamaica.gov.jm. That is their official website. And this website will be critical as they actually do the cleanup, as they start to pick up the pieces, to recover, to do assessment, to be able to realize what they got to deal with. And on that website, it is expected that they will have like a tab that you could do incident reports. On that website, you will have latest news. There will be a place where shelter locators, I don't know if because a lot of their buildings have been damaged, whether or not what was deemed as official shelters now will change, but you have to go out and you have to do your structural assessment and all of that sort of stuff. There may be houses that sustain severe damage that may, you think that if you even repair the roof, that their walls could be compromised, even if they're cement, if they're cracks and all that sort of stuff. All of that has to be assessed. And then on this same official website, you'll be allowed to make pledges, donate by credit card, debit card as well. They'll be allowed to take online payments as well there. So we also got in there that if it does not have gov.jm, do not trust it. That has been firm information coming out of Jamaica, because they have been aware that already there are persons who have set up pages and possibly GoFundMe pages as well, trying to capitalize on this that is not from legitimate sources or not from the government. So you want to make sure that if you're going to be doing any donations, that you're making sure you're doing it and that it's going to the right persons and not actually enriching individuals who are capitalizing on this unfortunate situation. But just before coming live, I tried it, but with the telecoms being down, don't get upset to think that it's not working. I can see this coming on stream as quickly as possible, understanding how recovery efforts and all help will be critical as they recover. But just keep that in mind. Support jamaica.gov.jm. M as in Mary. And we will hear what the Cayman Islands here will be doing as well. So again, it's best to piggyback, be it a local service. You got ADRA, which is head up by the Adventists. You got the Cayman Islands Red Cross. You got our government. We will get all of those information out there so that you want to make sure that you may feel that once you do these donations, that it's going to the right people and that your conscience sets you free, that it gets into the right hands. I think that's the biggest takeaway from this. So yeah, I saw where some people this morning were asking in regards to those 25,000 tourists that are actually in Jamaica right now, staying in a number of their resorts. And we know that these resorts, one particular couple posted that they weren't charged any additional monies from that resort for being there because the airports were closed. They just couldn't get out in time, and that no additional fees were actually levied on them for their time there. Now, as this progresses and we're seeing more social media posts from persons who I don't want to say get stuck, but yes, it's kind of got stuck and couldn't get out fast enough. We're hearing from them and we're hearing their experiences. And two, I've heard that really on a resort like this, that they're saying that communication is sketchy, communication as it with them hunkering down there in these resorts, that the information was not fast enough, that they felt more information could be given, that sort of stuff. But it's the early hours yet. So, and again, this is something of a magnitude that I don't feel any jurisdiction could honestly be prepared for. These are scenarios that I have been on, sat down, having been mass casualty trained and having been heavily involved in CERT personally. These are things, I wouldn't even say textbook. No one could really fathom exactly the strength of this. And I'll be sharing another image when you compare it, because a lot of people compare Hurricane Gilbert, Wilma, Rita. And when you look at Melissa, she has blown the numbers. And this is a screenshot. Again, I told you I'll be sharing some stuff with you that I've taken from other trusted sources. So please bear with me. This was a screenshot that I took earlier on today, just for context, so that you will know exactly what I'm saying. And yeah, when you do the comparison, it's just what she has brought to the shores of Jamaica is just blows your mind. And the recovery efforts, when I spoke about even public health, that in itself is going to be quite interesting, because what's going to happen, I spoke about mosquito-borne disease. That's going to be with all the stagnated water and standing water. And the water is going to be coming down as the days go by. Where's that image? Why am I not seeing it? Yeah, we have to be very careful with all of that. Cleanup supplies. And we heard when you give donations that you make sure you give donations that, here it is. Give donations, not dirty clothes, not clothes that you wouldn't wear yourself, but things that can help them rebuild to get back to some sense of normalcy. This is not a time to go spring cleaning out of your closet and saying you're going to help these people to rebuild their country. So it'll be interesting to hear the plan of action. But talking about strength, and this is, I screenshot this, of comparison, and the millibars, meaning the pressure, that estimates the strength of the hurricane. You see where Wilma of 2005 was the strongest right now in our area, in the Atlantic hurricanes, that's in our area. Hurricane Gilbert at its lowest, 888 in 1988. I remember that. And like yesterday. And then Melissa is clocking in 892. Labor Day, it's tied at that time between 1935 and today. And then you got Hurricane Rita of 895 in 2005. Now, again, once she continues to go off, we will get the latest stats because remember now, Jamaica is the first piece of land where she made landfall. So a lot of the data that will be shared for future modeling, future preparation, and all that sort of stuff will hinge on exactly when that entire eye actually got on shore of Jamaica. What were that millibar at that time of touching that point? Because we know that leading up to getting to the eye, that the weather is really, really, really bad. Tornadoes, thunderstorms, heavy rain, wind, and all that sort of stuff leading up to it. You can prepare for what's the front part of it coming. And then the eye comes, and then you get 10 minutes to half hour of just bliss. It's just like sunshine and like blue skies, tulips and roses, kind of. And then it'll fool you. It'll fool you if you're like, see, they lied. It's over. Thank God we survived it. And then all of a sudden, the wind changes and all, as the people would say, the old people would say, all hell and powder house broke down. And then that's the other part of it. And you know, that's my fear. That's my fear with this, that persons who really wasn't following the forecasts, that they caught themselves in that little lull and they went out not expecting the back end of this to come. And we're seeing where already rooftops are only the things that are exposed, who are off the hills, and the water now is catching into those basins and houses. All you're seeing is roofs. You're seeing water that is already settling because of the water coming from the mountains and the hills that are coming into the valley, heading to the sea. Because remember, all rivers and stuff head to the sea. And until that gets to the sea, there are basins where people normally dwell, where they build. And that is gathering right there. It's like a catchment basin. And we've seen fire service workers rescuing people right now, right? And what was interesting is that we see these beautiful houses in Jamaica, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful houses. They have houses in Jamaica that we don't even have here. They have mansions, and these are individual houses. Kudos to them. But what we've noticed as well is that it's good to be up there from water, but we found people coming down because the wind speeds from this particular system was so strong. What happens the higher up you go? The stronger the winds, right? And the lower you go, you got to deal with water. So you just got to pray, and you got to have faith, and you got to have hope when you deal with this. But yeah, so it is interesting as we navigate the cleanup of this, what will happen. And I'm just so happy to say that we do this together. And I am going to be sharing with you all of the information as I get it here, and definitely with the videos and all of that sort of stuff. I know you like when Sandra and I join in. She and I have been covering this, and kudos to her for locking in Brian and for her people on the ground. I like when we can talk about subjects like this, especially what's happening, because this is impacting everybody. And we know that this platform has people from all over the Caribbean, all over the world, but more so here. And we thank you for your support. We thank you for everything that you're doing here for us. So I'll bring in Sandra for a bit. She's more than happy to join us. Are you ready, Sandra? Just give me a thumbs up if you are. Let me know.
I'm here.
Oh,
ready.
You're there. I just
ready
didn't
to
drag
rock
you
and
in.
roll.
Welcome, my dear. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. You know, all eyes on Jamaica,
Oh my
obviously.
gosh. Yeah, it's been a long couple hours for anybody who's in content.
Yeah.
You having your source for delivering the latest news. And it's one thing producing a show, but it's another thing producing a show, and then for what you do for all of the latest news and all that sort of stuff. Oh my gosh, must have felt like a month in the past 48 hours for you.
Yeah, it's been a lot. And then, of course, because, we have family members
Yeah.
there and stuff as well, that's also an added degree of complexity to the situation.
Yeah.
So,
But everybody's okay. Have you been able to hear from Marlon's family?
from most of them, there's some people in St. Mary that we haven't heard from, but, we expected the communications to be limited there.
Yeah.
Because normally, even on a good day, because of where they sit, like their topography,
Right.
the internet can be a bit spotty at times.
But some of
Yeah.
the images coming out of there right now is heart-wrenching. I mean, when you look at that hospital and the high school that was as a
Mhm.
shelter, it's heart-wrenching, Sandra. And I don't know what the
Mhm.
cleanup efforts is going to be like, but like the government officials of Jamaica says, they're expecting lives to be lost.
Mhm.
They are expecting this to be a long recovery.
Yeah.
Because of just the infrastructure. Roads we're seeing now are basically riverbeds. And houses that were there are no longer going to be there. And what
Mhm.
we know it to be look like the skyline may even change in certain areas, especially in Black River area in St. Elizabeth.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah. I mean, listen, even in the best of circumstances,
yeah.
as the prime minister said yesterday, there was going to be significant infrastructure damage.
Mhm.
And they knew, going into this, unfortunately, with a Category 5 storm, didn't
Right.
really matter too much where it hit.
Mhm.
It was going to cause catastrophic damage.
Mhm.
And
True.
so, from that perspective, I think that most people did as much as they could. Some people didn't take it seriously at all.
Mhm.
But I think most people did do what they could do.
Right.
And
The
then they
what they had.
realized,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
they realized that, certain things are just outside of their
Yeah.
control. And what are you going to do about those things? You unfortunately can't do
Mhm.
very much. You've just
No.
got to now deal with the aftermath. And I mean, remember they had 3 people dead before the storm even started that
Yeah,
they
can
knew
you
about.
imagine? Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's what they knew. There was
Mhm.
probably more that they didn't even know anything about. So
Mhm.
I think the coming weeks is going to be
Oh, yeah.
a very, very challenging time for them.
Yeah, yeah.
And, they're going to need the support of the region. They're going to need the support of, just the world, really. I know their
Mhm.
prime minister also mentioned that the UN and other agencies had reached out to him
Correct.
ahead of the storm as well
Mhm.
to offer their support.
That should tell you
And
that they knew exactly what they were about to face or what was
oh yeah.
descending on them, right?
Mhm, mhm,
I saw Honorable Matthew Samuda
mhm.
said that, and this was that was mind blowing to me because you just see the mountainous terrain. He said approximately 70% of Jamaica's population lives within 5 kilometers from the water. That
Yeah, I mean, it is an island. I mean,
yeah, but
yeah.
I think you think of elevations, you think of the size of that compared to us.
Mhm,
But I think it's a bit tricky when it's mountainous because even though they're high elevations, you don't want to be living on the slope on the
mhm,
side of a mountain because of exactly amount of landslides, slippages as they call them, that took place as well.
mhm. Yeah,
Hmm.
it really is, it's tricky because it just demonstrates somebody was saying to me, I think it was today or maybe yesterday, how people are taking climate change as a
Hmm.
joke.
They
And the
are
people who are willing to pretend like climate change doesn't, isn't real, and the things that
hmm
we are doing to warm up the earth isn't impacting storms and all these other things. And they're like, listen, more and more, we went from having 100-year catastrophic storms to basically now looking at every 15 to 20 years
correct.
having this level of occurrence. So someone said this
Right.
morning, I was talking about the 1935 storm, which
32.
No, there was a Labor Day 35 storm.
Oh yeah, that's the Labor Day one. I had put that stat up.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
They were kind of comparing this storm to in terms of the magnitude, because once millibars dropped below 900, they
Yeah.
kind of knew that, oh my God, this is in a different category of storms, right? This isn't just a regular, not that there's such a thing as just a regular category 5 storm, but this was
There it
a
is.
different
There it
level
is. Mhm.
of category 5 storm, right?
Yeah.
So I think that given that it was, it was just like, that's crazy. So this has competed, and I think we'll have to wait for all the final results to come in.
Correct.
But
Correct.
it may have even superseded
Mhm. Mhm.
35 storm in terms of strength, intensity, everything.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we'll wait on the meteorologists to give those final
Correct.
analysis.
Yeah.
But that was a long time ago, 1935,
Can
right?
you imagine? Yeah.
Mhm. And
Ugh.
here we are now,
In 2025.
realizing that these occurrences are happening with a greater degree of frequency,
Correct.
and there
And
has
the
to be
intensity,
Yeah.
is what's really just when you see some of the top persons in weather, Sandra, really scratch their heads. Like there's some of them that have not slept in about 3 or 4 days because they just couldn't believe what they were seeing in the
Did you see
readings.
the one guy? I'm trying to see if I can put my hands on that video. There was actually one guy
Mhm.
who he was to say that he was shocked. I'm gonna show you this, right? Because this really hit home his response to this. Have a look at this video.
For about 10 minutes here, and 180 now. 180. What's the pressure?
Pressure. This is Air Force flying into that.
Yeah, this is Adam Berg. He's giving me this
Pressure
information.
is now down to 896.
Oh my Jesus Christ!
Oh, Lord. You forgot the mic was live.
All right, I'm going to hold it together here. So 896 millibars is stronger than Hurricane Milton when it made that run last year. Remember my viral moment last year? 50 millibars in 10 hours, right? It got down to 897 millibars. Now it turns out Melissa has broken or gone past Milton's wreck. So there's only one hurricane. There's only one hurricane in October and November in the Atlantic Basin that's ever been stronger. And that is Hurricane Wilma from 20 years ago. And by the way, Wilma was on dates earlier than the present date. Today's the 28th of October. So again, Melissa is the strongest hurricane so late in a hurricane season. So this is all history. It's all bad news, especially for Jamaica. And, I'll have a lot more to talk about some of what's driving this, what's producing these catastrophic hurricanes, because, by the way, this is the 4th major hurricane so far this year. 3 of the 4 major hurricanes have reached category 4 and 5 status. 3 of the 4 or 4 of the 5? Anyway, a very large number. I think only one season, 2005, is the season that we had an equal number of category 4 and 5 hurricanes. So again, a lot of history being made in a backloaded hurricane season, which is definitely and sadly about to be very, very tragic for some of the Caribbean islands.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you can see his shock, and obviously he looks like he's a well-seasoned meteorologist, and he's seen a lot and heard a lot. And the authentic shock and surprise
On his face, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of what was happening, this is no joke.
Correct.
For sure.
And he was right, because that aligns with what this guy was saying here, that he had it up here. I have it on screen. Wilma, Gilbert, Melissa, the Labor Day one, and Rita. So these are the millibars that they're talking about. And that was at 896 when he was saying that. Oh my gosh, yes, I would have loved to heard what he heard at 892. Yeah. So he was blown away at 896. And
Pretty
then it
wild.
went to 892. Yeah. So my goodness, there's so much.
So
to
have
be learned,
you
though.
been playing any of the videos as yet, Sabrina, in terms of what we've seen coming out of like the
No, I
Black River
haven't
Hospital
actually.
and stuff?
No, I
Okay.
haven't. No.
All right. So maybe I can share some of that.
Bless you.
Sorry. Thank you.
You want a phone? You want a phone? You want to call him? You posted a story. You want to call him?
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. So we have this video here.
Mhm.
And this is
This is the hospital, right?
Black River
Black River. Mhm.
Hospital. And what I was really surprised at is the people who are right by the exit door. You can already see the glass there is cracked.
Mhm.
It wouldn't have taken much for the other door to slam shut and injure some people, but I don't know why they were kind of hanging out by the door.
Not only that, I'm trying to figure out why was the door open in the first place?
Yes, I mean, it's crazy.
Unless the air conditioning went and that was their source of but we understand why you don't open these doors because the wind gets in and then the roof goes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So, you know, unfortunately, I think people are curious about these things. Probably a lot of these individuals may have lived lives and never seen a Category 5 storm. So curiosity does get the better of people. But my goodness, I think you're taking a real chance here, opening doors. And I saw people hanging out of different areas, and I was just like, what? Why on earth would anybody be doing that?
One where I think the police fire brigade was actually rescuing a family,
Right?
and all you could see the rooftop. I had to look at it good because I was like, okay, that's the roof. And then Miss Donnett says, but Miss T, that's water. I said, what are you talking about? I said, no, that's she says that's water. I could not. Yeah, and I mean that's
yeah. So there's a couple views that I have here, especially St. Elizabeth Division, where the road that leads to the Black River Hospital was blocked as of this afternoon. So we got word in terms of that. Lots of places where it just looks like a river was literally running through the place. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up another one here. I'm just waiting for some of these to kind of download. But yeah, it was the amount of water, which we knew there'd be, storm surge and all that kind of stuff. But it was like, whoa, what on earth? So definitely in awe of how crazy this is. Like, here's another one. Oops. The river just, I mean, this is not even a river, I guess. This is just water going through the streets and stuff like this. Yeah. Yep. And there was livestock. There was one video where I saw livestock out in that. And I'm just like, oh my God, the poor cows.
Look
That
at
looks
the
like
dog.
one right there.
That dog
Was that a
cow or
cow?
a dog? Oh my
I don't know.
God.
At one point in one of the videos, somebody says something about a goat. And I was like, a goat? Jeez, on peace. Well, you're not gonna have no curry goat there, I can tell you that.
Oh. There was one too I saw where the people thought they were doing the dog justice and tied him to the house. And I'm like,
no.
really? No.
Oh my God.
Bring the
So
dog
there's an
inside,
area
for God's
called
sake.
here's an area. This is Ward Avenue in Mandeville. Let me just show you this one.
They got slammed too.
Yeah, I think this might be the rescue video that you were referring to. I mean, but you see, rooftops collapsing. Hold on. I'm just trying to get a few more videos here for you. But it's crazy. It is definitely something to behold. I mean, we obviously, have been through a Category 5 storm, but I don't know that anything properly prepares you for it when you see it.
No, it's crazy. Man.
Here's another one. The power lines just get whipped around.
Oh my gosh.
That entire roof just went, as you saw there. It lifted it as a singular piece, which is so weird. Look at that. The whole thing. So crazy.
Kind of makes you love our planning laws.
Well, that
But again,
no doubt helps.
but for a Cat 5 of this magnitude, I even think us would have
Yeah.
been,
Oh,
for
yeah.
some.
For sure. Let me just see this one.
Everybody get out of the house now.
Yes, I think this is
Mandeville. I want to road name again.
Give to close. Water.
Give so close. Water Avenue.
See, that's a rooftop.
Water to roof.
Yeah, that's it. That's that's it.
Fireman up here to rescue work.
That's it.
People get
See?
trapped in a house.
This is firemen and stuff risking their lives to get people out.
Everybody in that.
Yeah.
And the ground about this one next house, then we can't even see.
Yeah, man, you can't see.
But you can imagine.
Where you are? They move out 360 them fan.
So we have to just, I mean, our fire rescue and emergency services, when they
Yeah.
put their lives
Mhm.
on the line for people
You
who
salute
wouldn't
them.
evacuate, who should have evacuated.
Salute them. Mhm.
Let me just see this one. So I think this is a picture of that same
Yeah,
area.
that was the one that I was saying, oh, and she's like, that's water. And I'm like,
That's somebody's
oh,
rooftop.
yeah, that's a roof.
Yeah. And you can see where it is up on the power line.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We got a caller. Good evening,
Mhm.
caller.
Sandy and Sabrina, I was saying that's why
Mhm.
when you're building a house, you should get somebody that know how to put on good talk. Because when my brother was living, he went down to work on the Festa house top for her, and he was saying, "Oh my God," he said, "who built this house for you?" He said, "They don't have another hurricane strapping or nothing in this." He said, "One day you never lose your top a million times." He said, "Who done this kind of work?" He said, "I could shut my eye
Mm-hmm.
and do better than this." And because that's one thing I could say. I don't say all, but I know what my father thought, because my father was number one, A1 in Banaka. He had a list. Some people didn't want to, but just to do no carpenter work for him. And he learned my brother. He learned that guy. If I'm going to get him Stephen Holston, that I tell him to do. That's why I want him to do my top, because I know if it's done, it can be done good.
Yeah, but
that's
I
the
mean,
same
listen,
thing.
there's no, I don't know that there's any building codes that are going to hold up in a category 5. I mean, listen, a
Let me
category
tell you,
5
listen,
over 200
listen.
miles per hour. Sure. Gusts
But
of
listen to me.
240
I
something.
want the bad. Listen to me. I want the bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My mother-in-law house. Remember when Cape Broad? I don't know how long you've been here. Remember when Cape Broad were building houses that they used to do these out of these steel structures?
Mm-hmm.
That's what my mother-in-law house was. My brother put on, I could come and show you, she writing that now at the age of 90. He built on the back for her. And the only thing that was left standing off of that house, and you can ask her if you think I lie, and I can give her number. After I won, the only thing was left standing on that house was that same back room that she in. Everything else had went. The bush that crossed us, zinc and all that down in there from her place. And the stuff that they salvaged out of the house were in that same room that my brother built. Same room. I tell you, it had to take hurricane to move. Sometimes hurricane didn't move my father and my brother named Bill. But then one other thing I want to say, I told somebody about this certified, because I tell people when I see something, I know I see it, and I was telling somebody about this 19 certified something. They telling me no, but 37. I said, well, I saw stuff about 37, but I saw something about 35 too, which I don't remember it, because to be honest with you, I don't know if they flog me for this, but I do try to remember nothing about storms, because I hate them. I do like them. I do try to remember nothing. I don't want to remember nothing about hurricane and storm and things. But I know I saw something come out about 1935, and they tell me, well, I hope they're listening, because I don't argue with people like that. I know I saw it. I said, well, you might be seeing the 37. I saw that too, but I know I see something come out about 1935. So I'm glad you mentioned it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a Labor Day weekend, September
Yes, I
1935.
saw it, yes. And they tell me, no, it was 37. But I said, no, I'm not open. I seen 35, and I saw it 37. You saw 37.
Why
You know,
you never
35.
charge your
I
smartphone?
about
22 years as a cell phone repair engineer.
Yeah.
I've been watching
Okay,
people
thank
wait-
you.
Yeah. Thank you. So when you hear me say something that I say, I see it. I'm telling no lies.
We don't doubt you. Thanks. But Sandra,
Okay, bye.
you
So
see those
they're
roofs?
expecting the second landfall for Hurricane Melissa to hit Cuba tonight with 160 miles per hour wind. Mm-hmm.
Sandra, not being fast, but what part is in St. Elizabeth your people in? Because I talked to my friend about 6 times, and then Highgate, St. Mary. That's before or you come on. I was talking to them, and then I did lose communication with the phone or nothing like that. So I don't know what part your people is, but so far they were calling me from there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to check and see, but yeah, they like I said, on a good day, they got internet issues. So
most of the time they were going to be working, but it seemed to work this time because I talked to them not long before Sabrina come on, before you come on.
And it could be too that if they're on Wi-Fi, because remember a lot of the towers are down, but they have no internet. So
I really
the
don't know
internet's
nothing about
gone.
that.
All right, thank you.
But they tell me they Highgate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard them talking about Port Maharan and this thing next thing, but I don't know nothing about that part.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. Here's another video from Kingston.
Yo, perfume. Yo, look what you see. Yo. Perfume, brother. What you see? Watch it. Can you pull it, brother? Perfume, brother.
This can't be Kingston. Hold on.
Oh my goodness. We got another caller. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Sabrina Speaks. What's on your mind?
Good evening, Miss Sabrina. How are you all
Fine,
doing?
thank you. Well,
hey, good evening.
Keeping the faith.
Hello, Sandra.
How you doing, darling?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Good.
I'm just watching the last update that I just sent Miss Sabrina.
Yeah.
It's what is it? 145 miles an hour, and it's northeast at 8. So
So it's going to
slowly
Cuba.
going off of Jamaica, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be a pretty sight.
Nope.
Yeah, it's going to head to Cuba now and everything. But those people taking chances with their lives, I would have locked that hospital door and went to sit on and lie on the bed and stay away from the windows. But yeah, this has been and the season isn't over yet, unfortunately. So.
No.
That's
so we
right.
still have to be prepared.
And the sad reality
I read
is
an article earlier today that one of the United Nations agencies said that it was
Caller? Don't know what happened there. I think he muted himself.
Yeah.
Okay, you got that one that I sent you? That would be the latest update WhatsApp.
Yeah, is that Brian?
I don't know who it is, but
okay, let me just have a look.
Yeah,
we have to be careful with the YouTube ones because some of those content creators don't like you sharing their.
Oh, okay.
Because they monetize it. So
gotcha.
Let me just
double check to see who that was from.
Yeah, I think this is Brian. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is Fox. This actually looks like Fox Weather. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is Fox Weather. Maybe Fox won't care. I don't know.
No, I've been sharing a lot of their stuff, and it has me as their leading person. They had me in their top 3 for sharing their information. Yeah.
So we can probably do this one.
Okay.
Some of the more individual content creators, they're very particular.
Correct.
About because that's how they make their dollars. So you gotta respect their copywriting.
Of course.
Stuff.
We doing it for the love, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let me just see here now. Yeah, I can pull this one. But yeah, it's heading it is heading to Cuba as still a Category 4 storm, which is crazy.
Yeah. Now we're going to be dealing with them. Cayman.
Yeah, and of course, Cayman has to. We have to really pace ourselves because, of course, we're going to do as much as we can for Jamaica, but Cuba can expect help too. Exactly. Maybe the Bahamas might expect help. So there's only so much we can do. We have limited resources.
Remember Bermuda? That's it. And that is the BOTC. BOTC.
Yeah, if it's going to Turks and Caicos, that's going to be another situation.
Yeah. So
As
it'll
well.
be interesting. It'll be interesting.
So, yeah.
This is going to take years to recover.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, easily estimates would probably be in the billions of dollars. And I mean US dollars, not Jamaican dollars.
Not Jamaican. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars.
Like I said, we pretty much went through the exact same thing. So we should know.
Yeah.
All right, let me
what's Soka saying here? While you're trying to download those. Karen says, congratulations. Good evening, Sabrina. Your show is very informative. Thank you. And Soka, the Jamaican community, thank you, Karen. Soka, the Jamaican community in Miramar, Florida, are doing a massive donation drive collecting very essential items. The line of cars with donations are endless, hoping there was no loss of life outside of people who died preparing for the hurricane. That's the same thing too. Soka also says, I remember years ago, I was talking to someone about climate change. He said if Earth's temperature increased just 1 degree, hurricanes would triple strength. He didn't lie. And that's proven the truth right here. C. Banks. Good evening, Sabrina and Sandra. What a hurricane. The storm of the century. Prayers going up.
Yeah, we can't, like I said, we can't even save the century anymore. Did you hear about this poor worker here? I don't know if you saw this one, Sabrina, but she is a worker at the one of the shelters. And she had a stroke.
The stress,
Yeah.
Anxiety.
Yeah. For real.
Oh my gosh.
Because we know, we had South City on today talking about strokes. Stress doesn't help. And so she actually suffered a stroke while carrying out her duties amid Hurricane Melissa. Thankfully, they were able to get her to a hospital for treatment. And we're praying for a full recovery.
Yeah.
But that was like shocking. It was like, what?
Can you imagine?
So let's have a look at this video.
Okay.
Hey, welcome back to Fox Weather as we continue to track major Hurricane Melissa, a devastating traverse across the island nation of Jamaica. Let's bring in Fox Weather hurricane specialist Brian Norcross. Brian, we wanted to get to you closer to the top of the hour. I'm sure you just saw the scene there with Robert. It's got to be that shift in the wind direction, right? He was a little sheltered by some of the high terrain, but man, it seems like that picked up considerably as Melissa's moving north.
Yeah, but I think it's not moving north, Ian. I think it's moving more east. So I think what's happened is he's gotten into the more of the core of the hurricane. The system has kind of jogged one way or the other. It jogged right next to Montego Bay. It looks like they got the western eye wall. Now it looked like it's jogging back to the east. At least, tell you what, we're going to look on the satellite here and see if you're seeing the same thing I am. So here we see 145 mile an hour winds. This is the 5 o'clock advisory from the Hurricane Center, 921 millibars. So this north-northeast movement has been the general long-term movement for a while, although it looks like it is bending to the east, which was forecast. More of a bend, kind of arcing of this thing as the upper-level winds in the jet stream pick it up. So there's where it is right now. I also just, when we're on this image, just want to mention that this is not over for Haiti yet. We haven't talked about them, but that poor country, they're on the fringe of this. And they have been, and they've gotten feet of rain. And that we're going to hear about that one of these days, that something terrible has happened there, I'm sure. Right, here you see the Hurricane Melissa making landfall here in Jamaica. Let's go close up on this. Okay, watch this now. Look at all the jogs back and forth. Now, there you see the move as of the 5 o'clock advisory to right there. See, it came up right near Montego Bay. It's about 10 miles away, then jogged off to the east. Now, it looks like to me it's over here somewhere now. And Robert is right in here. So I think what's happened is the core of the storm, which might be something like that, has just gotten closer to him. And it is on the north side of the mountains now. So as you say, that the winds coming around this way are uninhibited by the mountains, or much less inhibited to get to that location. So I think it's probably a combination of things, but we're definitely seeing, to my eye, a shift to the east, a wobble, whether it's just a wobble or now a more of a move. So that north-northeast movement is kind of, you have to kind of average all this out, and it's doing something like that. Let's go back to landfall. It was 1 o'clock this afternoon, and watch here. Let me take this back to 1 p.m. and 102, 10, there you go. And you can see that follow the eye here. So here's the circle of the eye. Now it comes up in here somewhere, and New Hope is in the center. If I could draw better, you would see that New Hope is in the center of that amazingly circular eye that was just getting beat up by the fact that the circulation here is running in the mountains. There are mountains right behind New Hope. I mean, New Hope is on a sliver of land right there, kind of a coastal plain, and then it goes right to the mountains. So all this air that's coming up this way is banging into the mountains, and that's affecting the cloud cover. It's kind of kicking the air up into the air, creates more clouds. So that's why you see the eye filled in here on this northern side and getting kind of distorted. But the circular part of the eye, the old eye, the center of it came just about over that town of New Hope, which is also associated with a town called White House right here next to it. Black River really got nailed with the onshore flow of the storm surge. Black River and Treasure Beach were just fearful that that's really in bad shape there. Look to the north, and you can kind of make out the way that the clouds are kind of pushing this way as the system is pushing that way. Montego Bay, when the system was right in here, was on this west side. So we'll have to see what we hear from Montego Bay and how much they got storm surge flooding, how they did with the wind, because they were in that western eye wall, which is not the strongest eye wall, but that is a significant issue. So there's where the Hurricane Center has it as of 5 o'clock Eastern time. Just offshore and not far from Montego Bay. There are the hurricane force winds coming around right into Montego Bay, where all those people are sheltered. Now, these are the hurricane force gusts here. You see only over the northern part of the country now as the system is moving away. So let's see how long it's going to take to move away. About 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. in Jamaica. That's when the hurricane force gusts move away. Then by 2 a.m. in Jamaica, the wind should let up. But two things have yet that would have to happen after that. One is the sun has to come up because they won't have much electricity in the country. Second is the water still has to come down from the mountains. So the flood potential will last for a while, at least into tomorrow. It'll be dangerous where it's prone to flooding. All right, Ian?
Yeah, always the longer fuse nature of that. But yeah, no question, that thing made a big jog off to the right. You could see that on satellite, and as you showed us, still so much of this still to go. Another landfall coming up later tonight, overnight in Cuba.
And poor Cuba. And here's another one from PBS. I mean, obviously, this is probably the biggest news story trending kind of
to the news
all over the
hour.
world.
Jamaica is suffering extensive damage tonight from the devastating force of Hurricane Melissa. Easily the most powerful storm on Earth this year, and just the second Atlantic storm ever to make landfall with winds up to 185 miles an hour.
Melissa has already claimed 7 lives across the Caribbean, including 3 in Jamaica. And the storm is slow moving, meaning its punishing impact will only last longer. William Brangham starts our coverage.
It's a storm, the likes of which Jamaica has never seen in its recorded history. Melissa made landfall this afternoon across western Jamaica as a monster Category 5 hurricane with winds of 185 miles per hour.
That's what the system is packing as a Category 5 hurricane. And much of that will be within the eye wall. In that eye wall, which is that area that surrounds the eye, you will have that most intense wind speeds, but also the most torrential downpours of rainfall.
Forecasters and local officials warned that parts of the island could see up to 20 to 30 inches of rain.
Mm.
And storm surge could reach as high as 13 feet. That's enough water to wash away homes and cause landslides across the island nation.
Jamaica, this is not the time to be brave.
Melissa's whipping winds have toppled trees and downed power lines. Almost 250,000 customers were without power on the island before landfall, a number that will certainly rise in the coming hours.
The low-lying areas are going to be badly affected. Seek to go to higher ground and protect yourself and be smart.
Melissa is one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes in history. Its sheer size visible from space. From inside the storm, the eerie calm of its vast eye belies the devastating impacts caused by its outer bands. Jamaica's prime minister warned that nothing on the island could escape this storm.
There is no infrastructure in the region that can withstand a Category 5. A Category 5 hurricane will definitely damage roofs. It will definitely compromise infrastructure, even concrete infrastructure.
In the coming days, Melissa will cut straight across the Caribbean. Cuba will be next, followed by the southern Bahamas. Melissa is expected to remain a hurricane through the end of the week when it barrels past Bermuda. Evacuations have begun for hundreds of thousands of people in Cuba tonight, and the Jamaican government has already ordered evacuations of flood-prone communities. But officials reported that less than half of the island's 800 shelters were occupied earlier today, as many families and visitors opt to shelter in place in their homes and hotels.
No one can say that the government was not forward-leaning in giving the information to persons who are in areas of risk.
It's true.
You have been warned.
The UN and dozens of other relief agencies and nonprofits have pre-positioned supplies on the ground, ready to assist. But for now, millions of people across Jamaica tonight must ride out this historic and deadly storm. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm William Brangham.
And for the latest about the impact and the rescue efforts, we turn now to retired Major General Anthony Anderson, Jamaica's ambassador to the U.S. Mr. Ambassador, thank you for being with us. And to start, can you give us a clear picture of how Jamaica is faring right now? What is your government's current assessment of the damage and the overall situation on the ground?
At this point, the eye of the hurricane is still over Jamaica, especially in the western part of the island. I think most people are hunkered down, except a few people who are out doing some rescues. But apart from that, everybody else is hunkered down at the moment. So when it's past, when the back end of the area near to the eye has passed, then we'll get into that assessment mode.
And drawing on your military experience, I understand you are leading a command center from here in Washington. How are you directing and coordinating the relief and rescue efforts?
Right. So we are in contact with the National Emergency Operations Center in Kingston. And that is the multi-agency center that guides all responses to emergencies on island. We have been tasked here at the embassy in Washington, D.C. to coordinate the external support to Jamaica over this period. We weren't sure how badly our communications would be disrupted. Fortunately, we are still in communications with the center because the Kingston, the capital, hasn't been as hit as hard as the western end of the island.
And from what we know, hurricanes often hit the most vulnerable populations the hardest. To your point about Kingston being spared right now, what is the impact on Jamaica's most at-risk populations, people in the rural areas and the outlying parts of the island?
The part of Jamaica that has seen the eye pass through and extending outwards about 40 miles, 30 miles from that, there's significant damage in the path of this hurricane. It is sort of unprecedented in its scale and ferocity, and it's been moving pretty slowly across the island. It sped up, but it slowed back down, And so in its path, you're talking about, 180-mile-per-hour winds, and it's, removing roofs, damaging buildings. If it's not concrete, it's likely to be significantly damaged.
What kind of assistance is Jamaica seeking or coordinating from the U.S. right now?
Okay, so we're coordinating assistance from at the governmental level, the state level. We've received offers already, and then, of course, with the multiplicity of non-governmental organizations, some of them that have a really good track record of responding to emergency around the world. And we've been working with them to get them into Jamaica. And I know they are prepping, a number of entities are prepping now to go in immediately after the blow and when they get the all clear and we can get the international airport open. More than likely that will be the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. And we're looking at the moment, the projection is Thursday morning to get that open. The other part, of course, is we have a huge diaspora here, and they have been reaching out to us to assist in varied ways. But our coordination job is to make sure that we can get it from here out of the U.S. into Jamaica, through the ports, into storage if necessary, and to the people who need it most in the best way, in the most efficient and smooth way.
Understanding that the immediate focus is on the crisis at hand, how is the Jamaican government linking this storm to the broader climate risks the country faces, and how might this experience of Hurricane Melissa influence Jamaica's long-term strategy for climate adaptation and resilience?
Wow.
Well, let me just bring it a little closer to this event. Prior to the event, all of our emergency procedures and protocols were activated. Last year we had Hurricane Beryl, and that had hit about 3 parishes were affected by it. It allowed us to test our processes and adapt and change and put in new processes and strengthen the gaps that we saw. And so we were in a much better position in terms of being prepared for this. And we're likely to get to our, as you say, our at-risk population, our damaged areas quicker than before. Now, there'll be a lot of blockages on roads and all that, and we'll be clearing those. But we have been in contact with our population. We have been giving information. We have opened shelters for persons to occupy, and we have pre-deployed supplies and clearing teams and so on, so that as soon as possible afterwards, we'll be able to start the process of recovery. And, we will always have these events, and we just have to build back better, build back stronger, to be more resilient against the effects of wind and rain that these hurricanes bring. As you say, the last time we had one like this, I believe it was 2019 with Dorian, before that 1935. So it's not a common event, this strength hurricane, but it has happened before, but just not like this, not for us in Jamaica.
Certainly wish you and all the folks in Jamaica the best. Retired Major General Anthony Anderson, Jamaica's ambassador to the U.S. Thanks.
So, yeah, I mean, very, very interesting. I don't think he ever answered the climate change question.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Yeah, he skirted all over that question.
All over the place.
I mean, what's he going to say? We probably are not doing our part. And because we think we're so small, it's like, oh, well, how much is what we're doing really going to help anyway? That's the attitude from, even Caymanians. Like, we make much of a difference.
No, but when you look at it, though, Sandra, I mean, this is the first hurricane for 2025 that actually made it in the Caribbean Sea where Melissa ended up, right? And when you listen to them from other sources, they're talking about the churning of the ocean with how, because this is like it's like a huge tornado, right? Over the sea that's fueled by the warm temperatures. You would realize now from June that we started the hurricane season to now, there was no churning of our oceans in the Caribbean Sea, which would explain, because all of that water there and very, very hot. Had an excellent environment to be the strength in which she was, because we hadn't been challenged this entire hurricane season. Remember, they turned before even passing the Eastern Caribbean islands. Nothing came over the Antilles at all. So she was the first system made it into the Caribbean Sea this hurricane season.
I know. I didn't even know how we got to M, because I'm like, I don't remember any other storms. Irvin saying, are you guys fact checking? What's that ping? Child, that's my phone. If I don't put my phone on silent, that's a constant. I hardly ever have my phone off of silent because of that, because it's constantly pinging, people messaging me left, right, and center, honey. Chill.
Yeah.
But
got some comments. You see this one from Damian Charles about you, Cuba?
What did he say about Cuba?
I got it posted right there.
Okay. Cuba is also already evacuating 300,000 in buses to the west. I mean, that's their best bet, because unfortunately, again, Cuba will have similar situation in terms of the flooding. And, you know, it's going to be a tough one without a doubt. So, and, you know, a lot of these countries, Cuba has since COVID has really been stretched for resources.
Correct.
They haven't had a rebound, quite frankly, in terms of like tourism. You know, there's been so much that's going on there that is very, very unfortunate. So I think the best thing to do with a storm like this is to try to get people out of the way. Now, that is quite a feat, though, to move 300,000 people in a couple days.
In a short time, too, because she's already coming off of Jamaica, giving her time to fuel up now, because she's going to go over water, and they're expecting that. Remember now, her winds and rains were so broad, the core of it, which is the stronger part of it, but they have been actually feeling the impacts of her from yesterday because of the outer fringes, equivalent to that of tropical storm force winds with rain and wind. So, oh my gosh, yes, it is a task.
So, Irvin, you're asking about a marathon donation. So, I want to remind people of what I said earlier about the dangers of unsolicited good, which the Red Cross has coined as the second disaster after storm. We do have the Red Cross and government officials coming on the shows tomorrow. They'll come with me in the morning. And then I think, Sabrina, they're on with you on Thursday.
Yeah, they're coming on from 5:30 until 7.
So let us hear how the effort is going to be organized. The last thing that you want is to put, you know, containers and boxes and all sorts of stuff together, send it to Jamaica, and it just sits on the tarmac, or it's of no use to anyone. We want to ensure that whatever we're sending is going to be things that people actually need. It's going to, on the other end, be received by agencies or individuals who can properly distribute it. Otherwise, we're doing things like tying up the airport unnecessarily, sending goods that they cannot use. And they have provided some examples here of when in the past, people well-meaning, entirely well-meaning, have made a mistake by sending goods that basically became the second disaster after the storm. So they gave an example here, 1998, Hurricane Mitch, when it devastated Honduras. Victims on the ground were desperate for medical supplies, and an airplane full of medical supplies was making its way to the tarmac, but could not land because the tarmac was full of clothing and other items that no one asked for.
Wow.
And it had to be diverted somewhere else. It ended up, in the words of Juanita Riley, the former director of the U.S. AIDS Center for International Disaster Information, she said that, and it ended up upending everyone's plans by about 48 hours, which is critical time in a disaster. Another example, 2004 with the Indian Ocean tsunami. As we know, that killed, over 100,000 people. It was ridiculous, the number of people that lost their lives with that tsunami. Unsolicited clothing donations piled up on a beach in Indonesia quickly went toxic because disaster workers did not have the time or resources to sort through and clean old clothing. Local officials disposed of it by pouring gasoline and setting it on fire. The remains went out to sea. Then we have 2010, the earthquake in Haiti. Unsolicited piles of donated food, clothing, bottled water, and personal grooming items had to be moved aside in order to make room to stage and deliver critical relief supplies. 2015, 10 months after Cyclone Pam ravaged the South Pacific Ocean, nation of Vanuatu, I always get this one, Vanuatu?
Vaniti.
Vanuatu
or Vaniti?
I think it's Vanuatu.
Vaniti or something like that.
Yeah, 18 containers of unsolicited donated goods sat on the wharf, accumulating 1.5 million in storage, handling, and container rental fees. You can imagine.
Can you? Yeah.
So, they're saying that a lot of times, again, people are very well-meaning when they try to send these goods, but if they're not even needed at the time, you're sending the wrong kind of goods. Like they need medication versus clothing, or they only have limited space. They can't accept it. So there's a lot of logistical things that happen with goods. So they're saying, listen, don't jump to just send a box of clothing to Jamaica or whatever you think, right? Let the government be the lead and have them tell us exactly what is needed. So governments are working together. They are coordinating their efforts. I'm sure Cayman's office here, relief efforts, have already reached out to the respective agencies in Jamaica so that as the airport opens up on Thursday, they will know what they most need, right? And that is why, again, they're coming on the show. They'll be on with me in the morning, and then they're going to come on with Sabrina on Thursday to kind of guide people to understand, okay, if you're interested in making a donation, this is how we're going to organize it. JN Money has also set up something to do some donation efforts, and I'm in contact with their UK representative about trying to have them come on as well and see exactly what it is that they need and they require. So be patient. No one needs to jump up and send their own supplies and all that sort of stuff independently. Things will be organized properly, and you've got to give it time.
I just shared the latest information, and thank you, caller, for sharing that link, because I spoke about it at the top of the show. Yeah, now the Jamaican Support Jamaica official disaster relief recovery portal is now live. That's up because it wasn't live. I'll just paste it here for those who may want to see it. I mean, it's public.
Yeah.
Sandra,
and then you want to make sure that nobody is scamming.
Correct.
That people, if goods are earmarked, that they're actually going where they're supposed to be going. All of that sort of stuff, I think is very, very important. So
that's the portal.
I hate
link.
to tell you, but there have been confirmed incidents here of people collecting containers allegedly for other countries, and half the stuff doesn't make it there. Because it sits in their yard and people pick through it. People take what they want before it even leaves here. And so there was a very popular incident with Matthew Leslie, and now I can call his name because I won that case at the Court of Appeal level, honey Jim. But
caller, you're something else,
Hello. But there was an incident with him. I can't remember what country. You understand? I can't remember what country he was supposedly, because he's the world's biggest philanthropist. I can't remember what country he was actually supposed to be fundraising for. It might have been Belize, but don't hold me to that part of the story because I can't quite remember. Anyway, he put on this whole fundraising effort, and people gave, because Caymanians are very, very philanthropic. Listen, we'll give you the last shirt on our backs practically, So lots of people gave, and nobody ever heard anything more about it. Years after that, and I do mean years, like 2 years later, he was running for political office, and lo and behold, those containers showed up down by where Cost You Less is on Bobby's property up there. Yes, ma'am. Showed up there, and he was going in the containers and giving people in the District of Prospect, voters, goods out of that to basically buy their vote. And that stuff was
There you
earmarked for another
go.
country. I said,
Kaboom.
Lord Jesus, look at ya. Yeah.
What a mess.
Hello. So you can't, I mean,
Anyhow,
I hate to tell you, but you can't trust in and everybody who come to me. They're
no,
going to be
not
sending
anybody that
donations.
comes running is an honest person.
Exactly. Yes.
But the water down in here, the reason why this hurricane fueled itself is because remember now, June the 1st came and we're almost at the end of October, a couple days away, right? So there was nothing that touched the Caribbean basin ever this year.
Yeah.
So there you go. And I read the article, Mr. Weatherman that all of us watch, Mr. Shields said, Mr. Bryan said, that as he explains, it's not only hot at the surface, but I read an article a couple of days before the hurricane hit Jamaica today, and it said down below it goes to 594 feet hot. So you imagine she fueled all of that.
Oh my gosh.
And there was no warm water. There was no the high pressure didn't work to lift it till it got further in the Northwest Caribbean versus earlier because it wasn't strong enough to pull it. So therefore it wasn't fueling. It had no wind shear. It had nothing to stop it. It just had hot water. There was no cold water in the sea, in the Caribbean Sea. But last night I went out and I looked up at the sky, and it was scary to see. But I went on the flight radar 24 that you can watch the aircraft flying over Cayman. It was a horrible sight to see. All of the aircraft were going away from Jamaica, around Jamaica. All of the flights out of Miami to like DHL, Atlas Air, and all that to come out of Quito and go to Miami, America, and all that. They routed them over to our side over Cuba and coming over us instead of going down through the middle of Jamaica. It was weird to see last night because I watched the aircraft every night in the sky, and it's just amazing to see. But it's a terrible hurricane, and I hope that nothing more comes for the rest of the season.
You're right.
This is
That's for sure. Nobody can handle no more now.
You're right.
There is a press briefing coming on. I'll send Miss Sabrina the link out of Jamaica.
Yes.
At 7 p.m. I think it's TVJVC or something.
Yeah.
The government's going to hold a press briefing.
So it'll be on their IGS page as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so
All
much.
right,
Thank you,
ladies,
Miller.
Just have a pleasant evening.
Likewise, my dear.
Pray for the rest of them. Thank you.
Yes, it's true.
Yes,
God
thank you
bless.
so
And
much.
all we can hope and pray that there's nothing more coming out there.
Yeah.
Because you see how quick this formed.
Yeah.
Imagine what else can happen. We pray nothing more. So
yeah, absolutely.
have a blessed evening, and time to let me know how that delicious those brownie mix I sent you. I finally sent you the picture.
Oh, yeah. I gotta
love
see if
them.
I gotta see if they're gonna be competing with the ones that I make.
Oh my God, you guys are funny.
Oh, I love it though. It has a little cane sugar, but when I scan it with my Bobby approved app, he explains it that the cane sugar is coming from the chocolate chips that are in there. So that's it. And it's just, I use coconut oil in mine when I do mine. Oh my goodness, delicious.
Nice.
And I put more nuts than ever in it.
Nice.
And
you sweet tooth people.
That same company has the almond flour brown, not brownie, pancake mix too. And that's delicious too.
Okay. I've been
to
trying to find like kind of vegan recipes that are, supposed to be just as good, but they use things like yogurt and other ingredients. So I'm looking at a couple of brownie recipes.
Healthier, yeah. I go to YouTube when I do my cooking. I go to YouTube and I have a killer lasagna I'm going to make this weekend. So, I can't wait to make it.
Oh God, I'm staying away from carbs at the moment because I am actively.
This one is delicious. This is all organic.
Trying to lose some pounds.
Spaghetti with, it's made with organic brown rice.
Oh.
The spaghetti, the lasagna, and it's oven ready. Foster's and Kirk sell it. It's like something for the pie kit. But then I have a recipe from a chef I watch. And he is just out of America, but he's like an Italian American chef. I made that lasagna. Oh my God. You do it with Italian sausage and he did it with pork, so I did it like that too. But you can do it with beef or vegetables.
Yeah.
Italian sausage,
Mhm.
a pound of, and a pound of country style ribs.
Yep.
With country style ribs, it's made from I think it's the chuck roast. So you can buy the chuck roast and you cook it down to the pork tender, and then you cook the sausage, you mix it, and I use all the natural, organic, or tomato, fresh tomato and stuff. Oh my God,
nice.
it comes out, and it's 4 different cheeses. I have
Oh,
to
yeah.
send you the
That's the
recipe.
best. That's
It
the
is
best.
delicious. Oh
Yeah,
my God,
we make
one
one
of
around
bite
here
of that
too that
is
is
heavenly.
amazing.
Christ, just listening to, and I just gained 25 pounds.
You got to get walking, ladies. Walking is the
I
key.
know. Yeah,
Start
yeah.
slow.
But you got
I know
you
Sandra can't do
also.
it because of her knee.
Yeah, no,
But
I'm definitely
walk
getting there.
slowly.
But you
I know
know,
you're getting
caller,
there.
you
Take it
have
easy.
to. Yeah, you have to. You can't outrun a bad diet, so you have to really do things
No,
in
you have to do
moderation,
it
right?
slowly. You reel
Yeah.
it in slowly. That's
Yeah,
how I reel
definitely.
myself in slowly. All the bad
Yeah.
stuff is gone, and now and then I sneak something in, but no, I don't have
Yeah,
white
you
bread
need
or
a
anything
little.
like
You
that
need a little
anymore. It's
treat.
nasty.
Yeah.
And I
I
stay
had a
right there.
burger the other day, and I did lettuce instead of even because I eat Ezekiel bread out the freezer. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a
But
very good
anyway,
one.
have a pleasant evening,
Thank
and
you,
All right,
my
my
thank you
love.
for
dear.
the coverage. I
Thank,
appreciate it. God bless.
thank
Bye.
you. Sure.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Yeah, so
Thank
that's
you
the
so
link
much.
for personal. I'm quite sure you'll do a post on your platform, and I'll do another post after we
Mhm.
end here, just to let people know and to warn people of unscrupulous
Mhm.
persons that will capitalize on this for their own personal
Yeah.
gain. I mean, it's
And
just like
listen,
so sad.
some people, I see our little friend Makiva Bush just sent one out. But some people, it's like political gain and other reasons why they're trying to do it. Whatever. We need to make sure that we're doing it the right way. That's the point.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
not trying to pick on him or anybody else, but if it's not being done the right way, sometimes you're duplicating effort. Sometimes, other much needed supplies can't get through because people are clogging up the access points and stuff like that. So, it's a challenge. And for sure, one of the things that they know they'll have after this is probably an outbreak of dengue fever and other
Yeah.
things because of the
Mosquito-borne viruses.
situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a definite.
So, of
What's
course, the
about to
government.
unfold is really not only a wing and a prayer, but it's going to take calm heads, a lot of strategy, and a lot of unity coming together to help them. But realistically, this is going to be long. And you know what was interesting? The mental toll it's also going to take on people. That's going to be to a different level. The mental toll that people are like, because they're just recovering from barrel. And I know Westmoreland is an area for their yam and their agriculture. And that's exactly the same parish where the brunt of this came on shore. Do you know what that's going to do to those farmers who are really about to harvest their crop for the holidays? Oh my goodness. Good evening, caller. You're live on Sabrina Speaks. What's on your mind?
I say I don't know if it's true, but somebody called me today and asked me if I had any donation that I had going to give for Jamaica. They say that Sherry, I'm getting a container.
Okay.
And saying just as soon as the boats can run or whatever, that's what somebody tell me.
Boats? What
But
boat? Okay,
like I say,
let me.
Like I say, I sell
No,
it how I buy it.
it is true. It is true because she sent out a voice note from yesterday, but take it
I
from
pay
me.
half a cent for it, not selling it for nothing.
No, she did. And in fact, the reference that I was just making to with Makiva Bush, it's him, Sherry Ann, Delmira Bodden, and God knows who else, claiming that there's some part of some organization, probably not a properly set up NPO, but people.
Well, this is why I'm saying to. This is why I'm saying to you gotta make sure that when these things go, the people that need them get them, because they did the
there's
same
no
thing
way.
with me.
There's no way for you to know that if it's not a government coordinated effort.
That's it. That's it.
And
sometimes
real NPOs, right?
And not bashing Jamaica government, but you hear what they say. People saying about them and stuff. So you know it's not possible that who need gonna get if you send it to them. It's what it is. So I don't know.
But listen, when you have people on the ground like the Red Cross and stuff, so this is the message that's circulating, and there was a voice note that went out yesterday as well. When you have people on the ground who, know what they're doing. They're disaster relief experts. Okay.
Yes.
Just
Well, go around and
just
see.
because one of these people sent something to Honduras before or to Cuba before, that does not make them a disaster relief expert. So let us concede and humble ourselves and realize that, leave it to the experts. If you want to help,
but
go volunteer for
sometimes
Red Cross since they have so much downtime on their hands.
Sometimes it's crookedness and everything, and some people, when they, especially money, some people, money is the root of all evil, and some people can't.
Like I said, there's lots of stories swirling around about this one and that one and what happens to donated items before they even leave the jurisdiction. So all I'm saying is exercise caution and deal with NPOs that can be held accountable. That's all I gotta say.
Well, that's true, but I don't mind giving, but I want who need it, get it. And I'm giving it to Tom, Dick, Harry, and Bill June that don't need it. The poor people that need it,
voice note.
give it to
Right.
them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's listen to the voice note. Thank you, darling. Let's listen to the voice.
I guess I'll get flogged for this, but I don't care if I
Well,
get talk
too
behind my
bad.
back.
They'll be
You know what I'm
fine.
talking to.
They'll be
Yes.
fine. Trust me. Let
They're
them.
not come touch me, so I don't care what it says.
Exactly. They can say whatever they want. They'll be fine. Honey child. So here's the voice note. I'm doing some of these things too, Sabrina, to show you how you can quickly take a voice note that someone has sent you on WhatsApp, save it on your computer as an MP3 file, and then under sounds, you just put it right there and you click
guys,
it.
just to keep you posted, Miracle Brokers has just called. They're 100%
And now you can
on board.
listen.
So the usual, Miss Orma Arch, I would like to thank you. We will be having a meeting this afternoon late or tomorrow morning with Miss Arch, and we're putting stuff together like we did the last time. Thank you guys for all your assistance and all of those. I'm going to open a separate humanitarian page for Jamaica, because we have one for Honduras, so that's different. That's bilingual and English and Spanish. So we're going to open one now for Jamaica, and we're going to send it out and add people to it. Thank you, guys.
So that voice note was going around since yesterday. What I would say is, again, if people want to be impactful, they should set up a proper NPO where they can be held accountable, where they have to, account for what is received, write things down. Somebody can come and audit their books and whatever, because we know that the new Minister of Finance is making sure that a lot is put in place with these NPOs and churches and stuff, right? Accountability. If you find that someone constantly is popping up, want to help out with relief efforts, but they're not willing to do that, to go that extra step, set it up as an NPO, I wouldn't trust that situation, not at all. You got to be willing to put in the work. This is the same thing that CNB told me, because, sometimes I sit here and collect donations with people, whatever, and CNB said, honey child, you can't be having that go through your account and whatever, because that's not allowed. So if you want to do it, you've got to set up a proper NPO.
It's commingling of funds.
So Damien says, Damien Henry says, please be wise with your donations. Jamaican scammers scam on a regular sunny, hot day, chilling under the shade. What you think they're going to do in the height of such an event? And not just Damien, not just Jamaicans. I have given you an example here this evening of our own Caymanians in the past that have done it. So Caymanians will collect stuff too, and have family members and others be going through the containers before it even leaves Cayman. So and again, those items are not necessarily what is needed. Y'all sending church clothes and all kind of stuff, and people don't have a roof on their head. You know what I'm saying? They don't need no church clothes. They need zinc. They need rebuilding materials, that sort of thing. So don't be quick to go through your closet thinking you helping people when, as the Red Cross says, that is a second wave of disasters now. Unsolicited goods that is going to be hitting people.
Yep.
Anyway, honey child, I got to go sort out my little one because it's going to be bedtime.
Well, it's 7 o'clock,
For her.
it's 7 o'clock. We have brought it home. And thanks to everyone who has commented, who has shared with us. And again, it has always been a pleasure co-hosting with you, and topics like this. We share our resources, we share our information, and we just can encourage people to keep it locked on our platforms, and we will be sharing you the latest information. But be wise, in all honesty. I just did a post on the Sabrina Turner community activist post with the link and giving word to the wise and caution that you make sure you only use trusted sources by all means, and let the big boys deal with it, I would say. Just
and the real Michelle, absolutely. Real Michelle Teresa says there will be an organized way to help Jamaica rebuild and recover. Please don't hinder the efforts in place by stepping on toes.
Correct.
Pray. And then Damien makes a good note. Damien Charles says we will see a shortage for sure of ground provisions, green banana and Scott bonnet. And listen, probably even the poor curry goat, because like I tell you, the goats,
everything's going to go up, Sandra, because I mean, before it even hit, we heard about the JPS, we heard about the telecoms. I mean, because all of the telephone lines.
Did you see the JPS office today?
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh my gosh.
On Andre's thing. Andre had shared it.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what?
But isn't there a fee on our utility bill right now that we're still paying something for Ivan recovery? I stand to be corrected.
By the way, that one where the whole roof lift off, that was Savlamar.
Oh.
Lord God, I'm looking at it again.
That was that image with the
roof. I think we're finally out of
that now.
I believe so.
Okay. Double check that because I think there was
Black River Market got a lick as well. Whew, what a mess.
Yeah. So this is something
but I think
for us.
By tomorrow, this is the JPS Black River. Let me just show you guys this total destruction there. But I think by tomorrow we'll kind of have, they will start obviously making some assessments in terms of where they're at. But listen, even the assessment process will take months because what it was like.
Yeah.
So this is JPS Black River.
Yeah, they need even help to do that.
Look at this roof gone. That's JPS. Yep, not good.
Wow. I guess we just need to do something on our platform, Sandra, that says, just be caution, donate for trusted sources. Scammers are already circulating and it's not gov.jm. Don't click. If it's not them, don't click unless you know it's a trusted source.
And Real Michelle says again, donations are trust funds held in trust on behalf of until the funds are given to the beneficiary. So proper and legal mechanisms need to be in place. And that's absolutely right.
Yep. So there we have it.
Okay,
thank you,
lovely. Yes, ma'am. So tune in tomorrow morning. I'll be back live at 7:30 a.m. And like I said, we've got people on who are part of the organizing of the efforts, if you will. So they'll tell us exactly what is officially being done.
Yeah. And I intend to be back, but I do have an event, so I'm on the fence. But let's see what we're going to do. The timing kind of clashes, but it's not something that I would want to miss. But we will definitely keep you up to speed. And of course, the Cold Hard Truth has you at 7:30. All covered.
Fantastic. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I don't know if you want to play, a little bit of something that people can stay tuned to and have a little.
Yeah, keep it going.
All right, give me 1 second.
That link is up. If the link is up for the
I don't see the one for the Jamaican government. I don't see anything for them scheduled. But let me give you another one from CVM because they're actually live now, and I'm sure that they will have some good relevant information. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna just pull that up. I'll pull this up for you guys so that you can continue watching. They're talking more about the hurricane shelters and stuff. So they have a whole list of all of the shelters and so on. Let me just see here. trying to see if they're gonna have
They're live.
anything. Yeah, that's live, but I'm trying to see if they're gonna do anything else other than the shelter lists. So they're kind of going through the
That's
shelter
a loop.
list.
Yeah, that's a loop.
Yeah, I'm wondering what else they're gonna do.
But maybe what we can do is just keep watching, and then if it's anything, you're gonna pipe into it. Are you gonna go live? Are you gonna do it?
No, I'm out of here, honey chill.
Okay, no, because then if it's yeah, I get it. I can if it's anything, what I'll do, I'll stick around, and if it's anything, I'll probably go
Yes.
live to share it. But it'll
Okay.
just be a live stream. I'll just go live. I'll
Yeah.
get the link and try to do the live.
Yeah. All right, my dear.
Yeah, but instead of having
I'll just
people holding.
pull it out for now. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Sounds
Thank
good,
you.
honey child.
Sure.
Thank you guys so much. Have a
There
good
we have
night.
it. Yes, good night. Thanks again.
All right, lovely.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye. And there you have it. That concludes another episode of Sabrina Speaks. I hope you were again informed, engaged, and thank you for all your participation, your continued support. And if you realize the nature of our conversation this evening, we didn't just talk as Caymanians, we talked as Caribbean people, because we're also looking at where the path of this hurricane is going. And we were spared. We have to be thankful but we weren't untouched either. Because at the end of the day, our hearts, our souls, everything, we're all one at the end of the day. And our brothers and sisters over there at Jamaica, our thoughts are with you. And this is not tongue in cheek. This is honesty. And for those who are still in the path, Cuba, you're next, Bahamas, Bermuda, again. And, there's so much variables of what can come down. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone. And I hope that each of you will find strength. And as you come out the end of this, that where there's life, there's hope. But let us also be honest. Storms like Melissa it's not just act of nature. They are warnings. And we're seeing exactly the toll in which climate change is actually playing on us. And you shouldn't just look at climate change as no longer as a distant threat. It's here. It is staring us in our face. And it's accelerating. And it's reshaping our region storm by storm, season by season. We cannot afford to look away, not now, not ever. So let this be a moment that we remember that resilience is not just about surviving the storm, but it's also about confronting the systems that make them worse. And every square inch of this earth that we're living on, we only get one shot at it. It's about showing up after the winds are down. That's also very important. And with open hearts and hands when those chains open. So, as I close tonight, I will try to keep you abreast of everything. Look at my friend. Look at what she did. I will definitely keep you abreast of everything and just make sure that I keep you updated. I've already shared on the Sabrina Turner community activist page the link with the portal and gives a caution there for everyone so that you're doing it and you're doing it to reliable sources. But thank you for the big hearts and for all of the great ideas that you've shared here. And I'm quite sure in the coming days, as you've heard tomorrow on Sandra, Thursday on mine, that we will be in this together and looking forward for what's to come because still got the entire month of November to go. One-use plastic also affects, especially micro. Yeah, you're quite right, Damien Charles. So, until next time, it has been a pleasure being here with you. Keep checking our Facebook pages. I will send out links, whatever. Right now, that's only in a loop. I don't see anything live. But if it becomes live, I'll try to pipe in and share it with you or share the links with you so you can keep abreast of what's happening because we want to keep you up to speed with the latest happenings there in Jamaica. Until tomorrow, have a safe and fabulous Tuesday. And our thoughts and prayers are with our brothers and sisters as they come out of this and for those who are actually bracing for impact. Have a good evening, everybody. God bless. Love you lots. Oh, there we go. Oh, please don't go. Please don't go. There we go. I got the sound. Let's see what I can do here to the sound. whatever is happening there. They were giving us the news. My apologies. I'll share the link because I think that's on Sandra's end because we were sharing this space here this evening. So my apologies for that. But I'll share the link with you. Have a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Until tomorrow.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.